Alright, Bunda and Shadowheart have had their revenge. And the horrid little spider lies there in the corner dead. There is a joy in winning that fight, because Karnus is a very difficult opponent to fight, but given what it cost for us to be able to accomplish it, it is a shame. So we are no longer fighting on honor mode, we are just enjoying the game. I don't think I explained it well, by the way. We got the Moon Lantern, and I released the Pixie, and I said that's because it was the best thing that we could do. I don't think I explained it well. It just means we can move freely throughout the Shadowfell now without getting infected. We didn't really see much of that during the fight, or prior to the fight, because we had the Moon Lantern protecting us. But you can just take the Moon Lantern around if you want. Feel free to, if you want to enslave a Pixie for the rest of her life and, you know, force her to help you and your group through places, you can do. But that's not Bunda. We aren't about that life. What we are about is getting level ups. That's us now hitting 7. I think level 7. So this will be 6 levels in monk and one rogue, I think. Yeah, 1 rogue. So with this one we get an additional key point. Improved unarmored movement, so your movement speed increases by 4.5 meter while you're not wearing armor or using a shield, which is huge. 4.5 meter. If you think even with a dash, that's an extra 9 meter. Dash with a potion of speed, it's 18 meter. Massive amount of movement that we get there to traverse the battlefield or escape if need be. Right. Yep. So key empowered strikes are counted as magical. So if somebody's immune to bludgeoning damage, say, then it's counted as a magical spell, so we're able to overcome any resistances. We now have these. So wholeness of body is a good one that's often used. It regains half your key points, and enter a temporary state of wholeness, where you regain key points and have an extra bonus action. It's 18 points of healing as well. There's Manifestation of Soul, which infuses your strike with ki from outside your body. Your unarmored attack deals an additional 4 radiant, or 4 psychic, or 4 necrotic, depending on which one you activate. Alright. I think we'll either do radiant or necrotic. I think necrotic, but there are quite a few creatures in the Shadowfell that are immune to necrotic, so we need to be careful with that. Now for Shadowheart, she's going to get a straight point into Cleric again. I don't think I'm going to change from Cleric with Shadowheart. And we get the next spell. So I'm going to remove Bless, because I've not really been using it. And I think I might put on Freedom of Movement. Snaps an ally out of any stun. Difficult terrain can't slow them down. They can't be magically paralysed or restrained. And if the target is restrained by non-magical means, it can spend 1.5 of movement to free itself. There is a very specific fight that we may encounter at some point in the Shadowfell that this will be very useful for. And if we do encounter it, I'll let you know. There is also Banishment there, which is quite useful, just in case you need to get a big enemy out of a fight. But we're not going to take it. So, the plan. We are going to head to Last Light Inn. And I'm just going to traverse this off of my... Oh. See that fight I was just telling you about 2 seconds ago? So right here. So be wary if you ever come into this area. You can't see them because we're too far out of the area. And maybe because we've also not passed the perception check. But we're going to come up here and we're going to sneak. I don't know if we'll see any red for the vision. Oh, I can't sneak. Oh no, wait, can I get onto that? No. Oh god. Right. Hold on to your hats, folks. Please let me sneak by here. Looks like it. Yeah, it's looking good. See that? Double failed perception.
That might be worth a look.
Get back into hiding. Was spotted by a meso. Clearly spotted. Right, we're back to hidden. So, where... How can we know that it spotted Shadowheart but not know? So that's just a wee rock here. Movable brick. Let's get some loot behind it. The things we're trying to avoid, by the way, they are deadly. They're really... They're not the kind of things that you want to be encountering lightly. I don't know how people would get past that in a solo run, by the way. You must just have to avoid that entirely. I suppose Spirit Guardians would be quite useful. I'm going to check what these... Necrotic resistance, I'm not interested. Right, okay. I've got a dead Trousseau over here. Should have a parasite on them. No? Okay. So, this is Last Light In. You can see it's got a massive dome around it. It's right on the edge of the water. And it's got this force field protection, this dome of enchantment. Not quite clear what it is yet, so we're going to go forward and investigate. We're always just going to skirt round the sides. I know maybe 90% of the Shadowfell quite well. I say that as I go into a dead end. But there are several spots where you can be ambushed. I always want to be prepared for those. A lot of dead bodies here. I should always...
Sorry, end.
Okay. Yeah, if you see a load of dead bodies like this, you've always got to be prepared for an ambush. But I don't think there is one here. I think there's one... Where is it? That area over there, hold on. Is it that area over there? No, that's where we came in, I believe. No. Oh, I'm turned around. Where is it? Oh, no, it's up here. Yeah, just up. Yeah, and behind this wee area here. Big, massive ambush in here. Yep. Yeah. So we're not going that way. I'm not going to loot all these bodies. I've just picked up a torch. The ground's too cluttered and they clearly don't have much. And I've wasted too much time already, so we're going to sneak on forward. I think we are safe from this point on, so I'm going to come out of sneak and head on over. We're just at the bridge. The Shadowheart used spells. Oh, we've got no spells. Practically no spells. We do have a level 4 now though because of the level up. What I'm going to do...
This place is protected. You might find allies here.
Yeah, before we go in,
supplies.
Switch to turn-based mode. We will cast Spirit Guardians level 4 on Shadowheart. And then we'll touch this. So this spawns about 15 ravens. And of course, because Shadowheart's popped Spirit Guardians, it's already taken some of them out. You can just sit here. They'll all fly in. Cheap and easy, right? I don't believe they hold anything. Oh, there's a wee help letter. This letter is written on a scrap of paper. Blood and age have made it near illegible in parts. Help! A darkness has rolled into Wraithwin, cutting us off on all sides. We've sent people through, but no one can make it more than a few steps before the words are obscured by drops of blood. This letter is a last hope. Send help. Anyone from anywhere, I beg of you. I will renounce Our Lady Loss and kiss the Moon Maiden's feet. If that's what it takes, just don't let the darkness take us. Shar is the Lady of Loss, right? And so that means the Moon Maiden's Saloon? I didn't know that was Saloon's nickname. Nickname. I'm saying that as if like people call her that as a buddy type thing. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Saloon. Also known as Lady of Silver, and the Moon Maiden is the goddess of the moon. Yeah. Okay. Goddess of the moon. Why did I think she was goddess of the sun or something? Shows how little I actually know about the lore. I was talking to a friend in work and he was recommending me to read R.A. Salvatore. I've just started, I'm about an hour and a half into the Audible book on Driss Jordan. And yeah, so many things that I'm like, I really didn't know that. And I should have known it probably from playing the game and some of the hints that you get for lore, different stuff like that. But I'm very new to the scene, so I'm trying to catch myself up on what has been
No
decades of
shadows
lore
here.
building.
Something must be keeping it at bay.
You there! Step forward and keep your hands off your weapons.
Easy! He helped us out in the shadows.
Come.
Wow.
Jahira!
I wish I knew who she was before I played the game for the first time, because this would be a brilliant moment. Yeah, the way that I thought I was going to be coming into the Shadowfell, the reason why I said wow, the reason when you come into the Shadowfell from the other direction, you don't have the added benefit of the Harpers siding with you, saying, look, he helped us out. So you need to pass skill checks basically to get by this section, but because they're sort of vouching for you, you're alright. And there is also something else that helps, which may actually still happen here. Let's see. Jahira, is it? And Bunda. And I assure you, none of this is necessary.
I assure you it is.
Alright. She's ready in her arms here. What's going on? I thought she was vouching to let us in. I saved your soldiers, and this is the thanks I get.
Kindness is too often a decoy.
Ah, okay,
This
so
is why we're here, you see. It is a curious creature that hides all manner of secrets. But if there's one thing that we know,
it knows its own.
it's that it knows its own kind. You should never have come here, true soul.
Just gotta look to her like, are you kidding? Like, you gonna help me out here?
Stop!
Yeah,
What
okay.
are you doing? He's the one who saved us!
He's the one who protected the Emerald Grove.
Yup. Didn't leave a goblin standing. Not so bad to hang around with either. Saved two of my friends. One from a harpy, and one from a mad druid with a snake. Didn't make a fuss of our thieving either. I pretty much trust him with my life.
A true soul with a mind of his own? How is that possible?
You'll just have to take my word for it.
You sound so confident for someone who's so wrong.
Look, I know it's hard to trust anyone right now, but believe me, I am not an absolute cultist. The reason why I'm not showing the artifact is because Bunda's been told several times by the Dream Visitor to not show the artifact. We were hasty to show it in the Githyanki crash, and of course, we should have probably been killed. So if I can keep it concealed, I will. From now on. That roll! Oh, I'm not using inspiration.
Not good enough.
So I wonder if this is always an option. Because I'm thinking now, if Maul doesn't come out and vouch for you because you destroyed the Emerald Grove and Maul doesn't exist anymore because you've killed her, I wonder how this plays out. But I suppose all that I've just said there means nothing. I'm going to show the artifact because it's the only option the game's given me. Or because I failed the skill check, I suppose.
What in the hells is that thing?
So far it's been a lifesaver. Here's hoping you agree.
More or less. Congratulations. You've earned yourself the benefit of the doubt.
Thank you.
Hear me, Harpers. All clear. At ease. I'll not pretend to understand what that artifact is. But I'm old and wise enough to recognize a sliver of hope when it crawls out of the dark. Tell me, why have you come here?
I don't know, I'm regretting it so much. I just want a cure for the parasite in my head. Moonrise Towers is my only lead.
Then our interests align. We must all cure ourselves of the entire cult of the Absolute. There's food in the inn over there. Beds too if you require rest. Aloe oil in the cupboard in case the vines gave you a rash. Settle in. Then come join me for a drink. You may just be the godsend we've been praying for.
Okay. So there's various things that we can do right now. I could go and bring Karlak out and try and get our what do you call it, our heart fixed. I'm going to speak to Quartermaster
Stock up while
Tally.
you can. I only hope I brought enough to see us through.
Let's see your wares. So she has something that is useful on any playthrough, and it's this here, the Cloak of Protection. It's very cheap. We're going to put on barter just now, actually. Hold on. Yep. She's got the Mighty Cloth. You gain bull strength, increase your strength to go by 2 to a maximum of 20. Cannot be pushed against your will. Here, that is a good bit of armor to be having. Maybe not so much for Bunda because, or it's clothing, it's not even armor. Ooh. Just for when the potions aren't in effect, but also that not being able to be knocked over and all that. I might want to save up some cash and get that. Gloves of the Balanced Hand. When you make an attack with your offhand weapon, you can add your ability modifier to the damage of the attack. So that's not relevant to us because we don't have an offhand weapon, we have a hand. Nothing offhand about it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, so this is one, see if you get good dexterity. This male, very highly recommend it. Say like you've got a +4 to your dexterity modifier, which I think we do right now. That would mean our armor class would be up to 19 just from this armor. We also get a +1 to initiative, so that's one to get if you are going down that route with things. Gives you 1 additional spell slot. I think this is the Hat of Uninhibited Kashigo. So after dealing damage with an unarmed attack, the wearer gains a +1 bonus to their spell save DC until the end of the turn, which is decent. You know, it is actually decent enough. But the hat that gives us the intelligence right now is more important. Yeah. Okay. Let's do what we've been saying we're going to do for a while and actually put up some of the weapons that we've got against the cost. So these two I'm never going to use. One of them's a rapier, which neither of us can use. So Wargfang we've not really got much use for anymore because we don't have any goblins to be fighting. See, this is good, and I'm going to keep it just in case at some point we need that. We aren't doing smite. Keep the shadow. Nah. No. Maybe we'll hold on to that. Bard, no. Wrath, no. No. These wee things. Guidance, yep. Speak with dead. Sentient amulet. Magic missile. Right, dancing lights, no. Voice of the circle, I've never messed around with that one. Don't need animal friendship, because I'm good with animals already. Don't need detect thoughts, because I'll just roll for that if need be or something, I don't know. No. 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 Yep, keep that. No. Keep. Keep. No. Keep. Keep. No. Nah. Yep. No. 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 Keep. Keep. Okay. We've got through a lot there. Yeah, toss that in as well. There we go, so we've actually got a lot to put up against some of this now, so the Mighty Cloth is going to set us back 3 grand, right, we can't afford that right now. Let's see, she doesn't actually have any coin to exchange with us here, so... Oh, don't tell me I've just gone through all of that to then end up in... Oh no, wait, she does, sorry. That's me being an idiot. Right, does she have potions that we might need? Let's switch it now to consumables. No. Not really. Healing potions. Sorry, potion of speed. Jesus, yes. Are we black pudding platter? Anyone? There's quite a few Scottish meals that are in this. So I think there's a haggis, the black pudding platter, potato scone platter. There's a few things that's perhaps not uniquely Scottish, but definitely of Scottish origin. Bam, ba, bam, bam, bam. Anything else I can see? Oh, some smoke powder bombs down there. It's going to cost for 5 of them. Right, still owed me 247, is it? Done that too fast to be sure. That is right though.
Take care now.
Take care now. Take care.
I wish we had a bloody army. Gives me the creeps.
Yeah, so I never even showed you what that was. Cloak of Protection, it gives you +1 to armor class and +1 to saving throws. So, an extra armor class, you'll see down there 16 and 17. Plus, we get a wee cape now. Yeah. Good. Let's get around and start chatting to some people. The Hellions Heart.
It's you. What are the odds? So glad you're all right. Well, as all right as any of us. A makeshift Harper's Fire might not be where I hope to set up shop. But maybe I've got something you can use anyway. And if you find any interesting materials in need of working, I'm happy to help.
Interesting materials? What do you mean?
I hesitated to mention this back in the Druid's Grove, for obvious reasons. But no one has earned my trust, if not you. When Elturel was dragged into Avernus, I was drafted into a devil's smithy. It should have been awful. But infernal metal is like a wild horse. Powerful, exuberant. It'll kill you if you lack technique. I can sense some. Smell it almost. Somewhere in the area. Underground, maybe. Out there in the shadows.
Right
if
here?
you find it, bring it to me. I'll make something incredible.
I found this metal in a place called Grimforge. What do you make of it?
Absolutely. Rare to get your hands on this stuff. Well done keeping it to hand.
Thank you. Let's see what he makes up for us now. Ooh.
There you are. And be careful who you show that to. It might draw the wrong kind of attention.
Flawed Helldusk armor. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to use this in this playthrough. It's 18 armor class, which is huge, but it's heavy armor. When you're hit with a foe, by a foe within 2 meters, it might take 1d4 5 damage. You take 1 less piercing damage, but you have disadvantage on stealth checks. So in terms of its armor class, I think it is one of the highest. I think there is a 20 in the game. I might be wrong on that though, but it is up there as being one of the highest armor classes in the game. But you don't get any AC bonus from dexterity, so that's one flaw to it. But yeah, even Shadowheart in this playthrough, if I'm remembering correctly, she can't wear heavy armor, which she sometimes is able to. So we got one of those. We're going to go back in again.
Need anything?
Found this material in a place called Grimforge. And we'll just let him skip through. Flawed Helldusk helmet. So we got equipment again. We'll have a look at it. Magical durability. The wielder has a +2 bonus to saving throws against spells. Constitution saving throws +1. So it's alright. We are waiting for the Flawed Helldusk gloves. If I'm remembering right. Yeah, the gloves. Yep. That's the one that we want.
Well, well, well. I knew a smell.
Sorry. There we go. Gloves. Right, let me show you. Bum, bum, bum. There we go. First part skip. Your unarmored attacks deal an additional 1d4 necrotic damage and can possibly inflict bleeding. Bleeding is an effect that happens over time. It's like burning. You will lose health each turn after the attack. So, we have these gloves currently that deal a 1d4 plus the scorching rays. So I think with the bleeding effect of the Flawed Helldusk do just pip this, as well as having the strength saving throws of +1. It's close. The scorching rays are nice added to the gloves of Cinder and Sizzle, and I might swap them out every now and then. I do also like the bracers of defense, even though they're not really, because it would put me up to 19 armor class. So these 3 all have things that I like about them. I'm going to see if you can get boots. I can't even remember. No, you can't. That's the 3 items you can get, is the helmet, the armor, and the gloves. What we'll do then is we'll just sell them right back to him. He crafted them. If he wants to sell them or whatever, feel free. So put them up for sale. Now, he does have something that we need. Let me see if I can just by name, see if I can remember it. Or is it just craft? Splint armor's alright, but it's heavy armor. You can also craft the adamantine splint armor if you take the forge out for a whirl. Maybe it was just that we needed from him. Sword of Lifestealing's good on a crit. The target takes an extra 10 necrotic as long as it isn't a construct or an undead. You also gain 10 temporary hit points, so that's just for critting. It's pretty good. There are some nice weapons here, but I must be misremembering. Okay. Does he have any other interesting items for us? Nope. Nope. Okay. Or actually, arrow of many targets, yeah. And then if you can just put all 880, 230 off. Fiend Slaying, Fire, Ice. Yeah. Excuse me, sorry. I've never used that before. So let's grab it, see what it's like. It can break target's interference and silence it. So if we get someone who's really an irritating
I'll be here if you
spellcaster,
need anything else.
then we can use that against them. So, so far we have met Jaheira, we've reunited with Maul and Damon. We're going to head inside now, see what we see. So there's Maul, or Mattis, sorry, where's Maul? Is Maul outside? I can't remember.
Check it out. We've gone legitimate, and Mole put me in charge. What do you need?
I think I need a ring from you. Let me see what you have. I need the coruscation ring. I can't remember who it is I get it off of, but I know it's in here. Oh, what's that robe? Nah. The evasive shoes are good. See, just as like a base shoe to use, because you get the +1 to armor class. Anything you can do that gets your armor class up is always really helpful, but in the interest of evasion, ironically, we're going to keep Misty Step, because Misty Step is better to evade. I don't know why they're called the evasive shoes. They're not really, they don't help clearly in any way. But no, this does not seem to be the right person for me to be trading with. Potion of invisibility would be nice, but I'm not going to.
Pleasure doing.
Yep, pleasure.
Shy? Have a gander at the
Aha, yeah.
finest
We
stuff.
need to talk.
Your move, Maul.
You trapped me? I didn't even want to take this one.
Kalimshan rules, dear. The first piece touched is the first piece moved.
That's garbage. No matter where the night goes, I'm gonna lose it.
Then make the sacrifice useful. Guard your Mistra, or come for my Cyric.
Look who made it. For once, I saved your butt out there, didn't I? We're square now, Chief. Say, do you play lance ball by any chance? It's my first time playing.
The keen gleam in Maul's eyes reveals the lie. She knows the game well, and she wants to win.
I like Mogs. My words. I am putting words together so often tonight that shouldn't be. My monk's response, I quite like it. They rigged the game, by the way, if you've never done it before. You basically bump into the table, knock the pieces over, and as you reset them, you move a piece. But yeah, so this is a game that tests your mind. Look at the board with fresh eyes. What does your opponent hide?
His king is wide open.
My, the Thescan double counter gambit. Vicious. Exactly what I would have done.
How's that for Kalimshan rules?
Brava. Lovely work. I see I was right to make you the offer I did. You will consider it, won't you? What a lovely specimen she is. A blushing apple begging to be plucked. The Thescan move suggestion was inspired. I had no idea you played.
I really didn't suggest anything. I just said look at the board, see what see what you've missed. So is that why you're here? To play games?
To play the game. The vast lance board of souls. But don't you worry about Maul. It goes without saying she still has the unconditional freedom to choose the only option she has left. Besides, I do enjoy being in this neighborhood again. It has such a rich history of abject tragedy. And tragedy, my friend, well, there's my bread and bloody butter.
Just stay away from Maul, you hear?
She won. She has a taste for it now. She'll be the one who comes to me. But enough about my lesser pursuits. Why bother with trifles when I'm in the illustrious presence of my very favorite client? Tell me, oh apple of my eye, how have you been? You don't have any gills to get green around yet, but you do look a little worse for wear in this light.
Oh! Do you know, I've never been better.
Splendid. And yet, I have this picture in my head of you tossing and turning in the middle of the night, thinking strange things, dreaming strange dreams.
He thinks he's bloody Santa Claus.
This little
Sees me
voice
when I'm
inside
sleeping,
of you
knows when I'm
asking,
awake.
Is this my will, or is it the worms? But you have no answer, and no way of knowing. The good thing is, though, there's only one little voice you really should listen to. Mine. See you soon.
It is a very good question, because you think all these cultists are heading towards Moonrise Towers, and that's all you're hearing from everyone. And here I am with the tadpole walking to Moonrise. How do I know I'm not any different from them? How do I know that they're not all being led there by the parasite in some twisted way to be converted? Food for thought. Now, I don't know how many of you noticed. You can go back and pause the video at the start. I know I definitely will upon rewatching this. It said Raphael had 865 health. For those of you who have played the game before, made it to Raphael's home and fought with him, he always had 666, suggesting he's the devil. Quite clearly as a devil, but more so suggesting he is the devil, 666 devil, right?
Right back at you.
Which is interesting. This must be a patch 7 update, because obviously we're playing in honor mode, and I was playing in honor mode last time and had 666, so an extra 199 health to contend with. If I hadn't lost my honor run already, I would be sweating at the knees right now. Now, we've got another person we have to encounter, who we already know, Barkus Root. Barkus was the young chap who was strapped to a windmill, was also put to work in the mines at Grimforge, so he's now here in a much more peaceful setting of the Last Light Inn.
Ah, you.
Hello, Barkus. How are things?
How are things? How are things?
Why is he taking
Well,
offence to that?
I've been through worse. I'll soon be off to Moonrise Towers to look for my friend, Wulbrin. I understand you might be headed in that direction as well.
Yeah, maybe. Look, I have reason to believe that the seat of the Absolute is in Moonrise.
Oh, joy. More cultists. I'm sure I'll have no problem locating Wulbrin and skipping out of there, hand in hand.
Even if you get past the Shadow Curse, you'll never make it past that many cultists.
I'm sure I'll come up with something.
I'm going to Moonrise too. Why don't you let me look for him?
You wouldn't even know what he looks like. Then again, my
What
track
about,
record
like,
is,
this height,
well,
same complexion,
discouraging.
ears? It's not going to be that hard. Then it's settled. You stay here, I'll search the towers.
That's very decent of you. Very decent of you indeed. But I won't stand idle. I've spotted an alchemist's scales, and had already been cooking up a little something that might help against those cultists. I'll get to work on the brilliant retort. You get to work at the towers. Deal?
What's the brilliant retort?
A new type of smoke powder. All the bang and boom of the original, but with an extra surprise. Guaranteed to end any and all arguments or protestations.
So I mentioned before that there are two ways to get rune powder barrels. The first one was off of Philomene, who gave us just a vial of it because she needed it for the rest of her mission. The other one is to find Barkus Root and Wulbrin in Baldur's Gate if you manage to get them all there successfully, that is. If any of them die along the way, I don't think it's an option anymore. I don't know if that's what he means when he says the brilliant retort, or if this is something else that's additional. So I should do what I can. Deal.
Very good. Very good. Very good indeed.
Yes.
Now,
you said that.
You, off to your heroism, as it were. Some of us are counting on you.
I think you're all counting on me, but thanks. So there's Keris, Alfira, who we didn't really get along with too well. I'm not going to catch up with her. I normally would, but she wasn't our bestest friend. Roland, who we convinced to stay and help at the Grove.
There's another bottle of Arabellan Dry back there. Put it on the bar, then piss off and leave me alone.
Jaheira said we should serve drinks, but that we shouldn't serve drunks.
Jaheira didn't save your ragged little tail from the cultists. I did.
It's a great expression. Serve drinks, not drunks. Want to talk about your sorrows instead of drowning them?
I'd rather drown than talk to a sanctimonious prick like you. If you're here to save the day again, you're a little late this time.
Okay. What's wrong? Can I help?
Oh, sod off! I'm only here because you helped me and my family. I was ready to cut and run back at the Grove, but you had other ideas. Carl and Leo are taken in by your crap. You convinced them to play hero, and now they're gone.
Right, we'll stop whining and do something about it.
Oh, I will. You go save the world. Or your own arse. Or whatever it is you do. I'll fix this.
See, I've got no time for people like that. Told them to do the right thing, they stayed with the pack, and then when things go wrong, they blame me. It's like, no, I'm sorry, like, I can only accept so much responsibility after a decision's made. If you made decisions along the way that have led you to a worse situation, that's not my fault. But staying was the right thing.
But she doesn't care if he still won't speak. Just keeps going with the bloody song.
Nothing of use on his person.
His original writ of duty, signed by Eltan himself. Fella must be one of the very first Flaming Fist.
He must know something. Let's not give up on him yet.
Aye.
We believe the cultists have taken Duke Ravengard to Moonrise Towers. I don't suppose you found a way in.
Not yet.
I trust you will do everything you can to free the Duke. But in case you don't find a way, I'll be heading to Baldur's Gate to seek reinforcements. The Council sent a carrier pigeon with news that the city has been dealing with absolutist attacks. The Steel Watch is holding strong. I'll request that Lord Gortash send some of them to aid in the fight against Moonrise. The curse won't harm them.
You know the name Gortash, a councillor with considerable influence on Baldurian industry and politics. But he is no lord.
You're leaving? Well, Duke Ravengard is still captive in Moonrise.
My role here is limited. I can be put to better use convincing the Council to send reinforcements to help rescue the Duke.
Sending other people to their death rather than yourself.
Steel Watch at our backs. We can storm the tower whatever Ketherick throws at us, I'm sure of it. I'll do my best, but there's every chance I'll fall to the curse or the cult before I reach the city. Don't count on me and assume no aid is coming. Work with Jaheira. That Harper's mind is as sharp as her blade. Follow her guidance. Farewell. We'll meet again, God's willing.
There we go. Yeah, so you've got this person here, Art Colour.
Flame Colour. That's your name, isn't it? Art Colour? I'm Fistula.
Thaniel and me climbing up a tree.
We need you, sir. One of our own's been taken, a Grand Duke. You might know something that could help us bring him back. We found him out in the shadows, just wandering. Nothing survives out there for long. Don't know how he made it, or where he came from.
This is no physical ailment. It is a spiritual malaise. The man's mind has been gripped by the Shadowfell, yet it has not broken.
That name he mentioned, Thaniel, who is that?
No idea, I'm afraid. Whoever it is must be someone important to him. He's been saying the same thing over and over, ever since we found him.
Let me have a look at him.
If you know how to get through to him, don't hesitate.
So let's do a medicine check. We'll observe his present condition. I'll add some guidance on. We make it.
The patient is physically well, but psychologically detached, dissociated from himself.
He's been in the Shadowfell. All memories will have been stripped away. We need to remind him who he is. Some personal effects, maybe?
Did you already check for personal effects? I say that as he's sleeping in tatters.
This was in his pocket. He doesn't seem to have any reaction to it now, but he held on to it for 100 years anyway.
So we'll investigate, we'll look closer at him. There may be something you missed. So we'll get +4 from the warped headband and a bit of guidance on there. We should make this. Yep.
His fingertips sport calluses and toughened skin, as if from manual labor, or playing a stringed instrument, perhaps.
Flame colour. Do you know where you are?
If he does, he isn't sane.
Was I speaking to you? So the one letter, we'll have a quick read of it. I don't think any of this is going to be possible in this playthrough. Assignee, heart colour, rank, flame. Objective, to obtain information about current activities in Moonrise Towers and its environs. Headed by Ketheric Thorm of the region's ancestral Thorm family. Orders, take lodging in the Last Light Inn and begin investigation in the local House of Healing. Reports indicate corruption, but no corroboration has yet been obtained. Note, the region's Thorn family are long-standing devotees of Saloon, but rumours indicate a Sharon enclave might be gaining momentum. Investigate and report. Signed, Grand Duke Elton. So, that note is 100 years old. That is a long since past note on a reconnaissance mission, information gathering for this region. This is before the Shadowfell was a thing. In fact, it was moments before the Shadowfell was a thing that young Art was out there investigating and has then fallen to the curse. So we know that Ketheric Thorm was in the region at the time, something to do with all of that. And that his family were once long-standing devotees of Saloon, but it seems as though Shar has crept in.
So he was at the House of Healing. Wonder what he found.
Okay, yeah, so the reason why I don't think this quest is going to be possible is because we do not have Howson. Howson is very important to this quest, and I do not think it's even possible without him.
Have a gander at the finest stock.
I'm going to grab this. No, can't reach it. Wow, really?
Whatever it takes.
Okay, guess we just can't grab that. Let's speak to Jaheira again.
Please, be welcome. Have a drink.
Cheers.
To your very good health.
I done the cheers too early. So let's do a bit of rogue insight. I'm going to meet her stare head on as I examine her body language. See if we can get any clues as to what's going on. That was always going to be a pass.
She is anxious for you to drink the wine first, and it's an anxiety you recognize. Not every knave prefers a blade in the ribs or arrow in the back. Some prefer poison.
So if I drink this, how long before the poison you've added kills me?
Well spotted. But if I wanted you dead, I'd have crushed you with my vines. I've only added a touch of cloth grass, a quaint herb that encourages truth-telling. It doesn't spoil the taste, if that's what you're wondering.
Okay. Drink the wine.
Bottoms up.
Shadowheart not happy, but I've got nothing to hide.
Well over a century old, and yet it hasn't lost a hint of flavor. Still not quite so sure about you, though.
Oh.
People tend to lose more than just flavor when illithids get their hands on them. I speak from experience. There's an air about you. Something alien. Answer me true and do not lie. The parasite is changing you, isn't it?
Ha! The flowing river changes. It is still a river. I am still me.
But
I like
a river can flood and break its banks. If the parasite changes you, tries to break you, could you resist?
Right, the analogy's not working. Yes, I can.
Good. I will take your word for it. And hold you to it, too.
I've still got my
I have
wyvern
every
poison.
reason to be cautious. I've traced people like you. People with parasites in their brains. All the way here from Baldur's Gate. The cult of the Absolute is spreading through the city. Quietly, quickly, and with unsettling deliberation. We tracked them to this ancient village, only to be faced with a man we killed and buried over a century ago.
Who is he?
General Ketherick Thorn. Remember that name. He's the leader of the Absolutists. He was a Sharan once. Took to building an army of dark justiciars beneath this very village. Alongside the local druids, we made it our business to see him deposed, dead and buried. But he's returned. Not only does General Ketherick Thorn live again, it seems he is no longer mortal. He has become, in fact, invincible. We met him on the road here, commanding an army of the Absolute, intent on destroying Baldur's Gate. I put an arrow through his eye myself, only to watch him pluck it out like a splinter. He healed right in front of me and chased us into the shadows. Things looked hopeless, but experience has taught me that no matter how bleak things look, there's always hope. You are that hope.
You think I can kill him?
Not immediately. Protected by your artifact, you can infiltrate his forces at Moonrise Towers, posing as a true soul. Find out what it is that makes him invincible, so we can strip him of his advantage. Once Ketherick is without his shield, the sword, together we assault his tower and put a final end to this blight.
Ketherick's days are numbered. I'll make sure of it.
Without a cure for your infection, your days are numbered too. Yet you selflessly offer to spend them fighting alongside us. I like you. I promise I will do everything I can to make sure you survive this. Any cure starts with understanding the disease. Whatever magic Ketherick's using to control these tadpoles, it must be at Moonrise. Until then, we keep drinking wine when we meet.
So
Before
you
you
keep
go,
putting truth
there's
serum on
somebody
me.
else you should meet. You're not our only secret weapon. Isabel, a faithful cleric of Selûne, and a light in the darkness. She cast the moon shield around the inn. It's the only reason we're still alive. She's upstairs in her chambers. Tell her I sent you, and she'll see you through the shadows safely.
Well, I already have a lantern that protects me from the darkness.
I'm sure it's very fine. But lanterns have a tricky habit of going out when you need them. Let's not spurn what few gifts the gods choose to give us, hmm?
It's fair enough. So, it all starts to knit together. If you remember back in the Grimforge, we found some information from the cows, the Rotte, I think they're called. They were telling us about the last time, hundreds of years ago, when a soldier came through this land with Dark Justiciars, and it was Ketheric Thorm they were talking about back then. And there's been a few other drops, name drops of Ketheric Thorm throughout this playthrough, and it's Ketheric Thorm now who is at Moonrise Towers, so this is certainly something that has been a long time in the making. It's definitely been building, I'd say it's definitely been escalating recently. But I think I'm going to call it there for now. We are just verging on an hour. I'm going to take a long rest just so that I don't pick this back up next time and go in with no spells on Shadowheart, as we do have a few fights ahead of us. This one has been a pretty chill episode. I think, yeah, there's been no combat in this episode, which is good. We had the level up at the start, arriving at Moonrise, and then we've just been going around speaking to people, really, just getting ourselves reacquainted with a lot of people that we haven't seen along the way, seeing how they've been doing. We found out that not everyone's made it there safely. There are a few faces that we haven't spotted yet, so people like Zevlor. Obviously we know that Wolbrin, for example, he's been captured, and Cal and Leah have been captured, so there are a few people who we need to go out there and find, save them, and bring them back, as well as then doing our investigations on Moonrise Towers to see what old Ketheric Thorm's up to. But I think that is going to be all for today. Thanks everyone for watching. Hope to see you again next time.